Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. In today's video, we are going to be talking about or going through all of the prompts that I have on my card deck. So if you've seen any recent YouTube videos, you've kind of probably noticed that there's been a lot of my jar chooses my TBR, or some spin-off of choosing your TBR based on prompts. And so I decided that I was going to use a card deck as my source of TBR prompts. So I wanted to go over all of the prompts that I have, just so that way you are looking to do something similar and you don't really have a good idea of what prompts to use. I wanted to go ahead and provide the ones that I use so that way you can use them. So if you would be interested to see all of the different prompts that I have for my monthly TBRs, then go ahead and keep watching. So really quickly, I don't even know how many prompts I have. I keep them in this little cup that have like bookmarks. I have like a little thumb thing for like holding paperbacks. And then I also have just other little magnetic bookmarks. I keep them in this little mug that I got off of my Illumicrate box a while ago. This is from, what book is this from? This is from, I can't remember. If I remember, I'll put it on the screen. But I keep them in here. So we're going to really quickly just count how many I have, because I do not have a full deck. For some reason, the deck that I have did not have a full deck. So let me see how many I have. Okay, so I have 50 different prompts, and we're going to just really quickly talk about all of them. So I do have some books currently in my lap, and those are my TBR for the month of November, along with one that is kind of a follow through, or it's a continuing on from my October TBR. So we're going to talk about those first, and then we'll move to these. So the first one I have, which is in my Kingdom of Ash book, and this is the prompt. That is a book over 500 pages. It's kind of like a standard, I think, for a lot of people. I've seen that prompt show up quite a bit. And then the ones that I have for the month of November are, I have a highly reviewed Kindle Unlimited book. So if you have Kindle Unlimited, that might be a good prompt for you. We have starting a new series, which I think also is a pretty popular prompt. We have a mystery thriller, and I think I have even a couple more of like cozy romances or classics. So genres are a good prompt to use, especially if you are kind of stuck like me, where you only read pretty much the same genre over and over and over again. That gets you out of that, like, it expands the books that you read, which actually is this prompt, which is, nope, but this is a book that you've had for a long time. So we have this one. This is the book that I was just talking about, where you get stuck in a rut and you kind of talk about the same books over and over and over again, or the same genre. This one is a genre you don't normally read. So we have that one. Those were all of the prompts that I chose for my November TBR, which I actually have that has probably gone live already. So if you would like to see me talking about and pulling these card prompts and seeing my reaction to some of them, then you can check the link that I'll try to have somewhere on the screen. And now we're gonna get into all of the prompts that I have on my card deck. And what I really like about this is you're able to kind of shuffle them up a lot easier than in like a jar. I think it's easier to pull these than trying to pull out little, slips of paper that could stick together. I really like the idea of just going like this and choosing it that way. It's just something that fits with my personality. I like that better. Okay, so we're going to just start from the bottom or the top, however you want to say it. So this one is a book that starts with a random letter. I don't think I've seen this prompt very often. We have a book that has a number in the title. We have a book that your significant other picked, which depending on your life, maybe that's applicable or not. I would probably, if I pick this, I have my husband or I have either one of my 2 kids that I would probably get to choose for me. This is a book with an ugly cover. It's subjective, I guess, what you consider as ugly. And then on the opposite end, you have a book with a pretty cover, a book with an author that you've never read. I actually ended up pulling this one the month of October. We have a book with a person on the cover. This would be one that I think would be difficult for me to choose just because a lot of the covers that I have, unless you consider them like animated covers, I don't really have a lot of cover or a lot of books that have pictures on them or people on them. So I guess you would have to kind of tweak this if you pulled it to maybe have it fit what applies to you. So if you only have like those romance books now have a lot of the animated covers and like the half naked men covers aren't as popular now, then maybe you can change this to an animated cover or something that kind of fits that prompt. And we have this one is a book with one word title. This was another one that I picked for the month of October. We have a book with a purple cover, which basically you can choose all the different colors. Like if you were wanting to have a whole bunch of different prompts, you could have one with a black cover, a pink cover, a red color, you know, a cover, whatever. You can do all the different colors if you want. This is a book with occult characters. So around Halloween, this would probably be really good. Or if you have like Twilight, that's got vampires and werewolves and all that kind of stuff. So we have that prompt. We have a book that gives you the creeps. I really don't have a lot of these. So if this got pulled, I do have a couple of like dark romances I probably could read. But this would be a challenging prompt if I ended up pulling it. Unless you're into dark romances, then I don't know what you would call this. This is another color one, so a book with a yellow cover. This one I pulled the month of October. We have a book with a great first sentence, which obviously if you have a ton of books, it could be a challenge, but that gives you the opportunity to kind of look through all of the books that you really wanted to read and trying to find the one that has the best first line of each book. We have a book by one of your favorite authors. So you have one of an author you've never read. This one is the author like one of your favorites. A book based on a true story. So in my mind, you could do like either a memoir or maybe, I guess not a historical fiction because that's not really based on it. Well, I guess it would be kind of based on a true story. You might have to tweak that if you don't have a lot of nonfiction or memoir type books, but we have that one. We have a book that ends with odd number pages, and then you're gonna have another one probably coming up with even number pages. You have a book in a series. So while I picked one of my books for the month of November was starting a new series, this is allowing you to continue on with a series you currently already have or you've already read. We have a book from the library that kind of gets you out of, you know, just only using your current bookshelf, gets you to a library. We have a book that matches the current season, so fall, winter, spring, summer. We have a friends to lovers romance. We have a reread, a book from your favorite genre, a book that has a place in the title, which this would be another challenge for me because I don't really think I have off the top of my head any books that have a title or a place in the title. So this might make me, if I pick this, I might have to go to Kindle Unlimited and start searching for like New York or something like that to get a book with a city in the title or a place or someplace or a country or something in the title. We have a book with even number pages that goes with the book with a odd number of pages. We have a next book in the series. So there's essentially 3 different series prompts so far that we've pulled in my card deck. We have a book from the Rory Gilmore challenge, which that challenge has like 300 plus books. So that definitely lets you kind of pick and choose what type of books that you might want to read, whether it's classic, fiction, you know, whatever. There's a ton of them on there that kind of will suit what would interest you. We have your newest book purchase, a 2-book series. So I guess that's 4 prompts that I have for series. This might be a little bit challenging because there's not, I mean, there are obviously books that are duets or duologies, but you have a duology, a middle grade, an author you've never read. This is the one that I picked from last month. We have a book that you've lost all interest in reading, so this kind of clears your TBR or some books out of your physical TBR. A book with 5-word titles, which again, you have a 1-word title. This is a 5-word title that's very specific, and it might be a challenge to try to find a book that matches that. A book that is going to make you cry. An aesthetic cover, which obviously that's going to be up to your perception of what you consider as aesthetic. Kindle Unlimited. So obviously if you have Kindle Unlimited, this will work. If you do not have Kindle Unlimited, then this prompt is not going to work for you, obviously. A book with over 30 chapters. An award-winning book. I pulled this one last month as well. I had to go onto Goodreads to see what are some of the award-winning books that are on Goodreads. You could choose different places. Obviously, there's not just Goodreads awards, but that's where I chose. A book that you think is going to rate 5 stars. This is another one I picked for the month of October. A book that has a movie and TV adaptation. Picked this in October as well. You have a free pick, so it's like the little center square in bingo. You get to choose whatever you want. A book with an animal on the cover. A book picked by your kid or a kid, or if you don't have any kids, then you could choose something else. I did see Sarah Caroli did one where her book was picked by her dog, so she laid some books on the floor and went to whatever book her dog kind of smelt first. So, you could try to make this work if you don't have kids. A dark romance. And then the last one is a popular book. And this was another one that I picked for the month of October. So those are all of my book prompts that I have currently. And basically all that I did is I went onto Word and I measured kind of what the size of a card deck is and made some rectangles that would fit that, cut them all out, glued them, and now I have a nice little card deck that I can shuffle up and use. And if I ever get tired of a particular prompt, then I can either tape over this prompt. Like if I don't want to use a popular book anymore, I can either tape over with another prompt, or I can try to pull up the tape from the existing one and put down a new one. But I really so far am enjoying this. It's allowed me to, at least for the month of October and for the month of November, pick some books that I normally wouldn't have gravitated toward, but this allowed me to choose them. So those are all of my prompts for my card deck chooses my TBR. And yeah, if you have any prompts that you use or that you really like, drop them down below, because obviously I can easily change these up, and maybe next year I'll decide I want to take out some prompts that I either pull a lot or just don't interest me anymore and get some new ones. So drop me down below what are some of the prompts that you really enjoy if you do the same type of TBR prompt for your reading. So with that, thank you so much for watching. Please make sure you like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Bye!